Hello my gorgeous Pisces, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you my gorgeous Piscelini, and it's for November 2022. This month you really need to become aware of one quiet important thing, because after that moment in time a lot is gonna start making sense in your life, especially when it comes to those things that didn't make sense so far whatsoever, but you just felt a very strong connection to. This month at around the 17th of November you are indeed going to become aware of this material gain. Now when you become aware of this material gain, this is gonna mean to you so much, because there are gonna be so many elements that you are gonna be able to connect to this on a very much so a personal level. But what you need to also understand when you become aware of this material gain, that in itself is going to provide you with an option, with an opportunity, with a realization, with a really interesting path ahead indeed. But at the same time, what you're going to need to understand, to be quick and to be sharp indeed. What I want you to understand is that when it comes to the actual numerology, my gorgeous Piscelini, your number is a 613, which means that you are gonna kind of become aware of this material gain. But at the same time, it's not only about the material gain, it's about this person, what you're going to actually feel on a personal level. This in itself is going to be guiding you towards the path that is very much so connected to your spirit, connected to your soul. So this in itself has a lot to do with your spiritual journey and with your soul purpose, and that means that you're going to feel this completely differently. And at the same time, when you become aware of this, as I said, there is going to be the path that is going to be right ahead of you, and that in itself is going to require for to be quick and to be sharp, my gorgeous Piscelini indeed. Because that, let me just show you this, let me show you. You see, I'm going to take these tarot cards right now and I'm going to connect to this path that is actually going to be waiting for you, my gorgeous Piscelini. I'm just shuffling these tarot cards and I'm just going to focus on that path that is going to be waiting for you, and which tarot card is actually going to correspond with this. Okay, so it's about the path that is going to be waiting for you. Here we go. Page of Wands. Very important stage, very important beginning, very important start. You are going to find yourself facing a new path, a new project, and you're literally not going to be able to kind of ignore this whatsoever. And that in itself, it's also kind of showing you and making you aware of the fact that there are some very powerful and solid foundations that you are going to be laying at that moment in time. You are going to find yourself facing this path, and this path is literally going to change your life. You need to understand the importance of this, my gorgeous Piscelini, and you also need to understand that there is going to be like some kind of a hard work ahead of you that you are going to become aware of, but you're going to find this rather delicious, spiritually delicious, rather than finding this something that it's actually going to put you off. Because by the time you get to the actual March 2023, yes, I said March 2023, your life is going to explode in the best possible way. By the time you get to the actual March 2023, what is actually going to start now, what are you going to be working on now, it's going to kind of like literally change your life, you know. And the March 2023 is the time when you're going to be able to see the direct results of everything that was happening right now. So this is also answering a very important question. Any project or any new beginning or anything that you are starting right now in November that you feel very passionately baby connected to, this is going to be your time span, that by March 2023 this is actually going to succeed. And even if you come across this path in a completely different way on the 1st and the 2nd of November, already you are going to have a hint of this, you know. So it really depends the ways you're actually going to connect to this, you know. But you still need to understand that by the end of November, any new start, any new project that you are having or anything that you are starting, this is going to be your answer, that by March 2023 this is going to come into fruition. And this is what you need to remember, my gorgeous Piscelini, indeed. And also, you know, when I said about when you become aware of this material gain, at the same, this is when everything is going to actually start. And at the same time, when I say that you need to be sharp and quick, indeed, and that in itself, it's by being sharp and quick, you just need to kind of respond to yourself by doing the right thing, by what your intuition is telling you, not what Jane is saying, not what Mary is saying, not what Mark is saying, you know, not what George is saying, do you know what I mean? Not what Anne is saying, do you know, no, just what you kind of are saying to yourself, do you know what I mean? So this is something what you primarily needs to come from you, otherwise it's not going to work. So also, you know, when I said like you need to be sharp and quick, you are at that time when you kind of plunge into it, you will know what you need to be sharp with and what you need to be quick with. This is connected to that material gain that you're going to become aware of. Do you know what I mean? I hope I'm not too confusing. But at the same time, when you become sharp and quick, you know, you are also going to, this is going to be like a bit of a blessing to you, because at the same time there are some kind of a hidden enemies and dishonest people that are going to be kind of obvious to you, and that in itself is just going to kind of delay the process just a little bit, and it's going to seem like, oh God, you know, but then it's nothing to worry about, because when this process is kind of delayed, you will see it's only going to take like an additional few days after you decide to do something. It doesn't really matter, but these few days are going to give you an opportunity to reflect, and it's not only like kind of like you're going to become aware of people who you can trust, people who you can't trust. This is an important stage of your life, so this is great. This is like a blessing, really. But at the same time, you are going to become like a really alert, you know, to awake and unknown dangers. I know this sounds really crazy, but at the same time, when I say awake to kind of unknown dangers, this is all kind of going to be connected to you and to your path and to the project and to the current thing that you're working on. So it's more about that, like a current dangers, like what to pay attention to, what to not to pay attention to, and things like that, in order to kind of protect yourself. And also, my gorgeous Pisces, what I really like, how much is going to mean to you the cooperation in between you and somebody else. This is not with what I've just been talking about. This is with something to do with something completely different. But one specific person in your life is going to play such an important role here. Really beautiful. At around the mid-November, indeed. So that particular person, it's kind of going to reconnect with you. It's to do with somebody who hasn't been around or who hasn't been about for a while. And that person, you just kind of lost the connection with a little bit. Maybe it's just like a best friend from a childhood, or maybe it's the best friend from a long time ago, maybe it's like a family member, but somebody who you feel very strongly connected to. It's about to make a really interesting reconnection with you, and that is gonna, you know, when you're gonna kind of reconnect completely, it's gonna be at around the mid-November. But at around the 4th and the 5th of November, that particular person is actually going to come through, going to come forward for the first time after a while, and through them you're going to understand something very, very specific about yourself, something very specific in terms of like being an urgency to do something, almost as if like you're going to be like kind of inspired to do something very specific, something that you're well capable of, something that you knew that you're well capable of. But sometimes these beautiful and these gorgeous and these wonderful people in our lives, you know, we understand how important they are in our lives when it comes to every single aspect, you know, of our lives, let alone the fact that these people are wonderful when it comes to us, when it comes to them reminding us about something that we're really good at, you know. And that they may, you know, this type of gorgeous people may not even point to that particular thing, but it's just talking to them, hearing their, you know, paying attention to their vibration, hearing the vibration in their voice, you know, feeling their energy, you know. It just brings some kind of inspiration that reminds you of the certain time you're just kind of transferred, like at that moment in time, into the certain stage, a certain part of your life that happened like a quite few years ago, and you feel the happiness, you feel the excitement, and that reminded you of something else that you know, you kind of like a lost connection with, and now this is going to remind you of a specific part of yourself that you must not forget about. Because if you forget about that specific part of yourself, something that you wanted to plan for many, many years, something that you wanted to do for many, many, many years, for like a long time, but you just didn't, and then you just forgot about it, and then that person is going going to remind you of this. This is also like an integral part of your spiritual journey. This in itself is going to be mind-blowingly highlighted exactly on the 11th of November 2022. On the 11th of November, this is all about the missing part of in your life, about the missing part of you, about something that you're gonna understand that you almost can't live without it. You know what I mean? So this missing part of you is just an element of you that you need to bring into this present moment. And even if it seems something like really tiny, something that you used to do, something that you used to love, something that you used to enjoy, something that the way you used to live your life, and even if it's only like a tiny small thing, it doesn't really matter. I know this may not make sense what I'm saying now whatsoever, but I'm just saying even if it's a tiny little thing, you have no idea how important this is when it comes to looking at so many different aspects of your life. It is almost as if you are like doing a puzzle, like a 1,000 pieces puzzle. And there is one little piece is missing, and as soon as you put that little piece in, it's obvious how the picture is going to look like, you know what I mean? But then as soon as you put that missing piece in, the picture is like completely different. You see so much that you didn't see before. You understand so much that you didn't understand before. And that becomes very attractive because it just provides you with so many things that you should be kind of looking forward to. It provides you with many ideas, but also at the same time, it gives you courage, to do certain things that have been slowing you down. Very often in this life we are the ones who block ourselves by thinking negatively, and there's so many different aspects. Like, why would we be thinking negatively? You know what I mean? Because it really depends what's going on in our lives. That's absolutely normal, that's natural. But then at the same time, we just kind of sometimes we get used to, like, kind of not saying that you're doing it, but sometimes we get used to thinking negatively, and we just need someone, we need something to help us, to snap, baby, snap out of it. Very important indeed. So this is what this power of cooperation and understanding it's actually going to do when that person comes back into your life. Absolutely amazing indeed. And it's just all about you kind of like needing to understand that this is all about you having this process of change which is about to start. And that process of change which is about to start, I'm referring to the fact that you are really want to make one big important change. And this change is really a lot to do with you making an alteration, with you making an important alteration in your life, which is going to become evident within the last 7 days of November. But that alteration would normally put you off like completely. But now within the last 7 days, this is going to be like, oh my God. You will know exactly. It's to do with an important step, an important, massive, surprising step that you're going to do. And I'm saying surprising, it's purely because how strongly and how courageous you're actually going to feel. And normally this would put you off because it has so many elements of the unknown, like, oh, you don't have experience with this, you don't have experience with that. That would normally put you off, but now absolutely no chance whatsoever. It's gonna kind of make you kind of go further, even more, even deeper. And look at this now. When I take this oracle deck, my gorgeous Pisces, so especially when I focus, hello my darling, my gorgeous Plantini, do you like my Plantini? So especially when I shuffle this oracle deck, my gorgeous Pisces, and when I focus on this, the last 7 days of November, when that process of change is absolutely starting for you, but it's going to require an alteration. It's going to require from you to make a necessary step towards the unknown, but you need to be brave, you need to be strong, okay? And this is, oh my Lord, you see, this is going to bring you so much courage. By making that step, you're also going to understand, you're going to start understanding something about yourself, but at the same time, this is going to lighten your load, which means that by making that step, your life, it's not going to be as restricted as it was so far. Maybe you didn't even realize how restricted your life was, but we don't realize until we snap out of it. You see what I mean? So you're going to realize within the last 7 days. You saw how restricted your life was, and that is also at the same time, look at this, a message from the spirit guide. You're gonna have a message within the last 7 days in November, my gorgeous Pisces, from your spirit guide or from your guardian angel, and it's gonna happen, you know, or like it's from somebody who like watches over you. You will feel someone around you. You will see someone being there within the last 7 days of November, and especially pay attention to number 333, 224, number 225, and number 111. Any combination of these numbers, it's going to kind of let you know, and it's going to kind of prepare you that some kind of a spirit guide or a guardian angel or a spirit who's watching over you, it's about to make themselves known. Okay, and even if you don't see this number through the power of synchronicity, it doesn't matter, my gorgeous Pisces. This is going to happen anyway. So within the last 7 days, the spirit guide, your spirit guide, is going to bring you a message. Whether you believe this, it's absolutely entirely up to you, but I feel it very strongly that this is actually going to happen. So you need to believe me. You will either smell some kind of like a smell of someone who used to be in your life, like maybe like they're cooking, maybe I don't know, maybe they used to smoke like some kind of tobacco or cigarettes, and then you can smell that suddenly. You know, there can be so many different ways the way you're going to become aware of like a spirit around you. Maybe the temperature is going to change. Maybe it's going to start becoming like a really, really cold suddenly. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're going to see someone with the corner of your eye, and then you look there and there's no one there, but you know there is someone there. Do you know what I mean, my gorgeous Pisces? So this is what you need to understand, because that spirit is bringing you a message, and the message from that spirit is going to be, my gorgeous Pisces, the message, oh my God, look at this, the message from that spirit is going to be that you basically, at the time when you become aware of that spirit, you also need to understand that something is going to come to you through your own psychic abilities. Your psychic abilities are going to be enhanced when you become aware of this spirit. So what you need to pay attention to, it's like there's something, it's almost instantly going to come to you, in terms of like, as soon as you become aware of that spirit, you will kind of know, maybe the same second, maybe a few minutes later, you will somehow know something is going to come to you, that something is about to happen to you, but good, but really amazing. And this in itself is going to be an important moment, because it's also going to provide you with that little bit of like a courage and that particular courageous energy that you need so much at this stage in your life, because you will see there is a lot going to be on your mind that you're going to be kind of try to like slow yourself down, and there is going to be a lot on your mind where you're going to just think like, maybe, you know what, maybe I shouldn't make the necessary changes in my life, maybe I'm okay the way I am. But this is also a sign that you have to come out of where you are, in terms of like really kind of like you know, not coming out of stagnation, but you just need to come out of your comfort zone, and this psychic message that it's going to come. So first you're going to become aware of the spirit somehow, and then as soon as you become aware of that spirit, there is very, very soon after that moment in time, or almost instantly, you are going to have this psychic message. And the psychic message that you're going to have, it's really going to kind of like make you aware of like what is to come, and it's going to be really, really good. And at the same time, you know, this is nothing to do with this forgiveness. You know, it's like, because you are really changing, you are going from one stage in your life to another stage in your life. And I know that this is the boring one now, but it's like, what I'm gonna say is that, you know, you are, this month of November, you're gonna feel like suddenly completely out of the blue, and I spoke to you about it, and I know this may become so boring to some of you, I completely understand, but it's like, oh God, it's like about you feeling very angry about someone, you know, and that is going to be highlighted at around the 8th of November, and then it's going to be highlighted at around the 28th of November again. That in these couple of stages, you are going to feel really angry about someone in your past, and this is going to be kind of like, oh God, and you're not going to be able to understand where this is coming from, but maybe you're going to look at something, and then that person is going to remind you of someone from your past who did something bad to you. But the bottom line is to try to forgive and forget, yeah? Try to release this release negativity. So the moment you feel angry about someone in your past, there is no point, because you are kind of, this is like kind of slowing you down. This is blocking your energy a little bit. This is blocking your vibration, because you are still like a kind of subconsciously you're holding a grudges against someone. So this is also going to be a very, very kind of powerful and healthy sign to kind of release this energy, cut the cords with this person. Just say to yourself, or say loudly, or say it in your mind that you're forgiving that person and you're absolutely moving on. And after that moment in time, just don't see that situation as something bad or negative or dark or evil. Just every single time when you're reminded of that, after that moment in time, just think about it. Oh yeah, you know, it's not bothering me at all. Just think about it in that way, and that way you're just going to like kind of take a broom and just sweep the rest that's left, you know. So now also, my gorgeous Piscelini, oh my god, I like it. I hope it's not like dark or weird or negative, because as I said, lately I've been told like, oh, I've gone so dark, I've gone so negative. So now this is constantly in my mind that I'm constantly dark and negative, but I'm honestly not. I just say to people what I see, and I try to say it in the best possible way. And if I would be saying everything that is completely exciting and beautiful and gorgeous and purple and blue and pink, life is not like that. So I just say what I come across here. So do you know what I mean? And also what I really like here is like absolutely brilliant that, you know, it's like an inspiration that you are going to have in between the 17th of November and the end of that month. In between the 17th and of November and the end of that month, you're gonna have such an amazing inspiration. And this something, it's going to inspire you. First of all, you're gonna hear something, and then this is what you're gonna hear. It's gonna give you an idea, and then you're gonna feel so inspired, and then few days later you're gonna realize, oh my god, so many prospects that are actually going to start coming out of it. And even more so, you will realize that you're gonna be able to mix certain things from the past and present, you know. And even if it doesn't make sense now, it's going to make sense later, because it's going to make you feel extremely optimistic. And you're also going to see a very interesting sign. And the sign that you're going to see and have, actually, should I say, around that moment in time, is the message about some kind of a success or something that you've been working on. And you will be able to connect the dots, and you will kind of see this as a really good sign. And it is indeed. But it's also going to make you feel really optimistic. It's going to give you so much pleasure just thinking about it, and you will know that this is your path to happiness. And at the same time, you will also become aware of the fact that this is going to lead towards you making a really wise choice. But at the same time, it's like kind of like a being really practical. This is going to help you to be really practical with life, but it's also going to help you to like kind of work on those parts of your life that made you like kind of too frequently too restrained, you know. At the same time, you know, this is gonna help you to be completely honest with yourself, and you will see how your creativity is just gonna start rising like there is no tomorrow. You're gonna like it. So your own creativity, it's gonna kind of like it's gonna be bringing you confidence. It's gonna bring you kind of more willpower to carry on. But at the same time, you are gonna become aware of an important adjustment that you are going to need to make in your life. But at the same time, the power of being as patient at this moment in time as possible, because the best things in life, they do take time indeed. Sorry. When it comes to your nutrition, my gorgeous Piscelini, and when it comes to your health, sorry, I had to cough here. No, I'm not coughing, but I'm just like kind of, my throat is dry. So when it comes to your nutrition, and when it comes to your health, my gorgeous Piscelini, it is the same thing that I would like to recommend to you, which would be natural vitamin D3, which is indeed going to help you to boost your immune system, but it's also going to help you with your bones, and it's going to help you with your energy. And the natural vitamin D3, I would highly recommend to get my own, because my own supplements are completely, they're very special. They're very unique. They're completely without any chemicals. They're suitable for both vegetarians, vegans, and for everyone. And also they are often exceptional quality with the best possible ingredients you can actually get. So I would highly suggest you to get a natural vitamin D3 to boost your immune system and for your bones, in combination with zinc picolinate, also my supplement, okay, which goes absolutely perfect with vitamin D3, which everybody should be taking. And at the same time also something like organic chlorella. It's very, very important because it's going to help you with your omega-3 essential fatty acids, which our body cannot produce by itself. So it's going to be superb for your brain, for your memory, for your concentration levels, but it's also going to help you when it comes to like a protein, and it's also going to help you when it comes to the actual when it comes to the metals in our body, for the detoxification of metals. Organic chlorella is the best, and metals are nowadays everywhere. They're in the sky, they're in the air, they're in the ground, they're in the soil, and organic chlorella, it's absolutely brilliant to get rid of it. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor, you just need to check with your GP. Sorry, only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. And in order to buy my vitamins, which are of an exceptional quality, of course, you can just buy them. The link will be in the description below, or you can just simply go on Google and just type in Sasha Bonasin vitamins, and my page is going to come up that way as well. The first important date, my gorgeous Piscelini, indeed is going to be on the 3rd of November. On the 3rd of November, you are really going to kind of like on the 1st and the 2nd of November, only like it feels like you're gonna be worrying, just like a little bit. Something is going to be on your mind that it's gonna make you kind of worried and think, and it's gonna be like, oh my God, almost like as if you're like kind of gonna be nervous a little bit, because you're gonna be expecting something, expecting some kind of outcome that almost like more of you would think more of you would think like something negative will happen or something like that. More like you would think like negative than positive. You know, you're gonna be half and half, but negativity kind of started to take over. Like when it comes to you expecting some kind of outcome. Do you know what I mean? 1st and 2nd of November, and then on the 3rd of November, it's gonna be a good news actually, because you are gonna hear a news and information which is gonna be the moment in time when you're gonna realize, oh my God, this was so beneficial to you actually. Nothing to worry about, because there is going to be an amazing benefit that you're actually going to realize on the 3rd of November 2022. And even more so, this beneficial situation that you're going to become aware of, my gorgeous Piscelini, this beneficial situation that you're going to become aware of, it's also like you need to understand this is the beginning of your transition, it's the beginning of your change, especially when it comes to those things that you're so bored about that just came to an end quite a while back, you know. And now that in itself, it's really going to make you aware of the sacrifice and readjustment that you are going to need to make. And this is all part of your own regeneration, this is all part of your own rebirth, my gorgeous Piscelini. And that in itself, it's really kind of a couple of days later, at around the 5th of November, you are gonna get another amazing good news. And this is gonna be amazing, this brilliant news you are going to get, because at the same time, it's not about this brilliant news that you're gonna get. This is going to be like connected to some kind of a gain again, but it's really a lot to do with you becoming aware of more at that moment in time, like about an advancement. Oh my God, this is brilliant, it's going to give you so many ideas, and you're gonna be like, yeah baby, you know, it's to do with an advancement in your life. But then at the same time, you know, it's like let's say if it's work, then it's a promotion. Do you know what I mean? So it's like an advancement in your life. But the most significant here is the desires that you're actually going to realize. This is important. The desires at around the 5th of November that you're actually going to realize. These desires are so essential when it comes to your growth, but they're essential when it comes to the progress in your life. And you are going to become aware of some kind of like a dealing, some kind of important conversation that you're going to need to have with someone that is actually going to put you off a little bit, but you must not worry about it whatsoever, because that conversation is also going to be super beneficial for you. Even more so, there's certain ideas that you're going to get and gain through that conversation. So do not be put off that whatsoever. This is going to lead towards you having a control over your life back. I'm not saying that you didn't have a control, please don't get me wrong, but it's about the strength and courage that you're going to feel. You're going to feel extremely energetic, and determination is going to be undeniable. And this determination is going to be the main reason for you to feel so active, but also you will know that now it's time for action. Now you're going to have a confidence that you didn't have before, and this in itself, it's really going to put you on this spiritual quest. Indeed, you need to understand that at the same time, I know this is going to sound crazy, but at the same time, you are giving a birth to some kind of creation. You're giving a birth to a new life of yours, and at the same time you are going to be thinking all the time about this potential growth, and you're not going to be able to forget about it whatsoever. So this is something that you need to focus on, this potential growth that you're going to feel. My gorgeous Pisces, indeed, it's like, oh my God, your soul is going to be guiding you, your spirit is going to be guiding you. And look at this, when it comes to the potential growth, look at this. When it comes to that potential growth, my gorgeous Pisces, an oracle card, when it comes to, you see, it's the time of closure. There is so much that it's going to become obvious to you after this moment in time, but also it's the compassion, you see. It's also someone is just going to need a little bit of your help, please. And it seems to be like a person maybe that is going to need your help. And it's also going to be, I know this is completely like a random, but it's true. Someone is going to need your help. And it's almost going to be somebody maybe that you kind of like fallen out with, or you had a little bit of a disagreement with, or something like that. But they're still going to need your help. Just help them. It doesn't really matter, okay? I think that there must have been like a little disagreement in between you within the last few months, or maybe even within the last year, and that specific person is going to need your help. And my advice is to help them, because this is going to get back to you 3 million times. And as soon as you kind of start helping them, you're also going to find out something really kind of like really, you're going to find out something about them that is like really kind of, oh my God, you're going to be like that. So yeah, that's what I want you to understand. Just like when some blast from the past comes up, you know, I don't mean necessarily like a boyfriend, girlfriend and all that, you know, no baby, no, just anybody who meant to you, or anybody who still means to you but you've kind of fallen out with. Just you will know that they need a little bit of your help, and help them. Don't hold any grudges whatsoever. And I think it was just a bit of a bickering in between you two or something like that, but that person is going to tell you something. So this is what I want you to know. Okay, the mid part. I just went on weeklies now. The mid part of your weekly reading. I'm losing it. No, I'm joking. The second date, my gorgeous Pisces, is going to be on the 14th of November. On the 14th of November, you are just going to know exactly which stage of your life, slowly but surely, bye darling, came to an end. So you will know. This is important for you to acknowledge, and don't ignore this, because it's to do with the part of your life that has been dragging for so long. And you can't have this to drag any further, because it's only slowing your progress, because it means that you're not trusting your own spirit, you're not trusting your own soul, you're not trusting your own intuition by keep on doing something that's making you feel unhappy or unsatisfied. So you know what I mean, just be honest with yourself, baby. So it's that the 14th of November, it's all about you knowing which aspect of your life came to an end, this continuance of effort. And now that in itself shouldn't really disappoint you, because you must understand that this part of your life came to an end. But you also need to understand something that you may not understand at this moment in time, but you are going to feel some kind of urge to do this anyway. So these are all beginning signs that by cutting this out of your life, there is something much better coming. There is something mind-blowing coming. There is something amazing coming. But you're halfway there. But that thing is not going to come until you actually cut this out of your life. And you are going to, you know, so first of all, you're going to feel like, oh God. And then suddenly, you're gonna feel this absolutely great determination, like absolutely mind-blowing, crazy great determination to actually cut this out. It's to do with this continuance of something in your life. You're gonna suddenly feel a great determination, initiative, my lord. It's gonna bring this amazing strength into your life, this power, but also at the same time, you know, you are really gonna be doing something that is going to bring you an amazing success into your life, especially when it comes to material attainment. You're going to find yourself on an advantage very, very soon. In fact, the last couple of days of November are already going to answer a really, really big question to you when it comes to certain difficulties in your life, and when it comes to you finally having stability. So the last 2 days of November, you are going to become aware of the stability in your life that you did not have, you did not feel, and that stability in your life would not happen if you didn't kind of come to an end, if you didn't decide to come to an end with this aspect of your life. It's like kind of realizing and understanding this along those lines, where you know that you are indeed separating like a fantasy from the actual reality. And then also by doing this, you know also at the same time which part of your life, you at the same time you know that this is a mature and responsible thing to do, but also at the same time you will know that you need to be patient and persistent, and you are going to be focusing on those things that you are able to do, especially when it comes to like you feeling so good and capable about doing certain things. You know, this is like a kind of like, to be quite honest with you, it's almost like as an emotional challenge that you are going to have. But this emotional challenge that you are going to have is needed, because it is going to help you to resolve the issue. Okay, really big issue. The last date that I'm going to be talking about, my gorgeous Piscelini, it's going to be on the 27th of November. Now, the 27th of November, and before I go there, I would highly suggest you to get this gorgeous red jasper, this crystal pendant. I really would advise you to get this red jasper, because it's just going to kind of rejuvenate you. It's going to make you feel more passionate. It's really kind of going to revive you in so many different ways. Not only this is going to help you like to come out of yourself, but it's also going to make you to have reconnections. You know, it makes you to have reconnections with things in life that you should feel that you feel that you want to have reconnection with, but you just don't have enough courage, or you're just waiting for the right moment, waiting for the right time. We should never wait for the right moment and the right time. The right moment and the right time happens, and it comes to our life when we decide to do something. That's the right moment. That's not the right time. That's the right time. Not when you're just kind of like maybe over analyzing, and then no baby no, then you just lose yourself in over analyzation. So that's not a good energy whatsoever, because it's also to do with like you not trusting your spirit at the time when you should. So red jasper is something that I would highly recommend you to wear throughout November and December, January, February, and even March 2023. Every single time when you're working on something big, something important, and every single time when you want to be more passionate in order to get most out of the things that you're actually working on, whether these are people in our lives, whether these are whether these are like a business, finances, you know, whatever it is. This gorgeous red jasper comes with sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous Piscelini, you're also supporting my channel as well. The third important date is going to be on the 27th of November. Now, the 27th of November, it's like, oh my God, you are in between the 27th of November and the end of that month, but it's going to start on the 27th of November. You are going to feel like an absolutely, from the moment you wake up on the 27th of November, something is going to be on your mind. You're going to feel so inspired, like it's going to come from somewhere else. It's going to come somewhere from deep within, from your subconscious mind, because it is going to be kind of provided to you the very first thing in the morning, as soon as you open your eyes. And the night before, you know, of course, when we sleep, we travel, we go into all sorts of dimensions, but we don't necessarily remember our astral projections, or we don't necessarily remember our dreams. And this is how we know like something the most important, how where we've been out of that, like the night before was the most important. It's going to be provided to us the moment we kind of reconnect you know, with our subconscious mind, as soon as we open our eyes in the morning. So something is going to be on your mind very much so persistently from the 27th of November, and it's all about you becoming aware of like an aspect of your life that is going to make you feel so enthusiastic, so excited, and you're not going to be able to stop thinking about it. And the more you think about it, the more excited you're going to be, and it's all going to lead towards you finding out a little bit more. And it's also to do with like something that you will understand that is to do with a skill. It's a great skill. It's to do with your own skill, but you're still going to feel the need to find out a bit more, because it's a lot to do about investigation, exploration, and finding out a bit more, finding out a little bit more. And the more you're thinking about it, the more excited you're actually going to be. And by the end of this month, you are. So it's going to start with a thought, with a realization, and then by the very end day this month, you are going to become aware of like, oh my God, not only bright prospects, but so many opportunities that are actually going to be connected to that you're not going to be able to become aware of immediately, but what you are going to become aware of immediately is that you need to do something. You need to do this because it's a lot to do with you coming out of the part of your life that made you feel sad and negative, but purely because it was to do with a restraint that was caused by others, and that kind of made you to lose your faith a little bit. So this is all going to lead towards not only an achievement, but towards like a really surprising achievement. And also you're going to be, what is also going to motivate you to go for it, because you're going to become aware of the unsatisfied desires that made you struggle, you know, over the last 5 or 6 months. And it's so, even more so, it's going to give you such an important idea here, a really, really important idea, how to kind of like a really what to do when it comes to your own development, and when it comes to like making an important decision. You know, it's not only just about making an important decision, but it's all about having an idea how you're actually going to do this, and it's to do with an improvement in your life, development, promotion, you know, and rebirth. The process of rebirth is starting. Not only that the process of rebirth is starting here, but at the same time you are, my gorgeous Piscelini, going through a spiritual evolution. You're about to set your heart free. This is going to be absolutely brilliant indeed. When it comes to the first part of November, mid part of November, and the last part of November, in the first part of November, just pay attention to the actual how creative you're going to feel and what is on your mind persistently while you're feeling so creative, while you're feeling so energetic, while you're feeling so rejuvenated. Just remember, the first part of this month you're going to feel extremely creative, but it's not about creativity, but it's about making sure that you understand what is kind of constantly popping in and out of your mind at the same time, because it's to do with a very interesting psychic message that you're going to have as well. When it comes to the mid part of this month, my gorgeous Piscelini, it's just basically, yeah, you're gonna feel very strong urge to like kind of like a spirit, do things that help your spiritual growth, and you should do, because November, it's a very spiritual month in so many different ways, and November is amazing and it's remarkable when it comes to us growing through our spirituality. So you're gonna find yourself at around the mid-November maybe wanting to smudge your home, or maybe wanting to play with your crystals, or maybe wanting to walk in the forest, you know, like maybe you will want to meditate a lot. Whatever your mind is telling you, whatever your spirit is telling you to do, just go for it. But don't be surprised when you feel a very, very strong connection to kind of explore your spirituality, because this, my gorgeous Piscelini, it's exactly what you should do. But we are all like on a different levels of our own spirituality according to our spiritual journey and according to our karma, of course. So this is going to be keep on coming to so many of you in a different ways. By the time you get to the last part of this month, my gorgeous Piscelini, you know, somebody with a very strong mind, somebody very strong, somebody very powerful, somebody really wise, somebody really ethical, somebody like a powerful leader, you know, you're gonna get a wise advice through that person. That person is not going to give you an advice, but through them you're gonna realize, you will know what to do. And it's someone who you look up to, someone who means to you so much. You're gonna gain an advice from them, through them, like an inspiration, shall I say, but it's almost like as if they told you the actual advice, and you will know exactly what to do, especially when it comes to like you gaining clarity, how to put your foot down, you know, how to express yourself, and how to say something to someone that you've been worried about so much. So you will know how to do this. So now, my gorgeous Piscelini, when it comes to those of you who are in relationship, like when it comes to those of you who are in relationship, I mean, this is brilliant. You know why? Because it's like, it's about the financial security. Because you see, this month, I know it's not all about money, finances, blah, 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 but yes, this month is showing quite a lot about financial security, doing the right things, but also this month it's also showing, like, for example, it's a lot to do with the spirituality as well. So it's like a couple of things going on here. But when it comes to the couples, my gorgeous Piscelini, it's about an important message that you're both going to have, and this message is going to put a big smile on your face, because it's not not only about the financial security, it's going to start looking up really, really great. And it's not only about the extreme comfort that you're going to become aware of, but it's more about, oh my God, you've been waiting for this moment. The couples have been waiting for this moment. This is not only about the financial security, but it's more about the green light. It's like, now it's time to go for it. Now it's time to go for something that you've been planning for such a long time, and you are actually going to go for it much sooner, much earlier than you previously planned. So this is an opportunity that you both need to literally jump in, because you have been waiting for this for a long time. This is going to be evident on the 11th of November and the 27th of November again. So it's all about you understanding that something that you both wanted to do for such a long time, making a huge massive step, you will be able to do it much earlier, much sooner. Don't do it later if you can do it now. Just remember this. And those of you who are single and ready to mingle, my gorgeous Piscelini, it's like, oh my Lord, it's almost as if like those of you that are single, you've had someone on your mind. Someone was on your mind a little bit too much, someone who shouldn't have been. Maybe you had a little bit of kissy with that person. Maybe you had a bit of a stranger in the night, Piscelini in the morning. Maybe you had a bit of that moment, you know. Or maybe you just saw someone and you just felt such a strong spiritual connection with that person, and you just couldn't kind of like really forget about this person. But the bottom line is that, you know, you were holding on to someone that when you're going to realize, oh no baby, no, it's not the right person for you. And because you may hear something about that person, it's nothing serious with that person anyway, so you may hear something about them, because I know that there's going to be some kind of maybe little disappointment that you're going to feel. But then again, this is needed, this is important, because there are a couple of stages you're going to go through. So first of all, you're going to realize that someone is not the right person for you, but then after that moment in time, someone very, very interesting it's about to enter your life. Because by the end of this month, my gorgeous Piscelini, I can already see somebody very, very beautiful and interesting. It's about to walk into your life, but it's not going to happen until you let that first person go in your mind. But it's nothing serious anyway, so you know what I mean. As soon as you do that, you are going to allow this other person to come forward, and this other person is going to come into your life by the end of November. And even if that person doesn't make themselves known, even if you don't become aware of who this person is, some of you, it doesn't really matter. By the end of November, there is a big change that is going to start. You're already changing your life, you're already progressing so much, and you will find yourself on the path where you're going to be facing an element of your life that you're going to need to start doing. You're going to need to plunge in. Well, that element of your life that you're going to need to start doing, that you're going to need to plunge in, it's also going to be directly responsible for you meeting this very, very beautiful person. And even if you don't meet them in November, it doesn't really matter. December, it's looking amazing when it comes to that person like making themselves known. So it's not going to be that long, my gorgeous Piscelini, whatsoever. Okay, my gorgeous Piscelini, I love you all so much. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous Piscelini. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.